I got to say, going back to the sex strike for a minute, I have to question the wisdom of this sex strike, since all the women who support abortion, and I don't want to say they're all screaming, mimi, hellish feminist horrors and, harridans. I don't want to say that. But all these women going on sex strike, aren't they already sleeping with pro-abortion little wimpy guys with frizzy little beards who sit around drinking lattes? I mean, isn't that who they're sleeping with to begin with? So now you got these guys who, let's face it, we're never the sexiest guys to begin with. And now they can't get any action at all, while all the conservatives are home with their wives whooping it up. So I don't know about the wisdom of this, but it's to protest this abortion. And Knowles was at this abortion march in Philadelphia that was started by our own Matt Walsh, and I'm going to sing Walsh's praises. I call Matt the Catholic Michael Knowles, just to bug Knowles. But we'll get to that in a minute. But I got to sing his praises for pulling this thing together. Really important what he did, and really important what he said, and I want to talk about that. But let us talk about the abortion argument, because one of the things I love about hanging out with Catholics, and so many of my friends are Catholics, is that you're always talking about principle. You can disagree. Sometimes I do disagree, but at least we're almost always talking on the same level of principle. And that is as opposed to power. And so we saw last week, I played it on the show, we saw this guy, Brian Sims, a local Pennsylvania legislator, went out and bullied these teenage girls who were praying in front of an abortion clinic, praying for the unborn, praying for the women who were in trouble and were solving that problem by killing their babies. And this guy went out and bullied them, threatened to dox them and put them on film and all this. It was embarrassing. And it was embarrassing that a grown man would do that. And so Matt Walsh, God bless him, went on Twitter and said, we ought to hold a rally and fight back. And our friends from Live Action, Lila Rose, have I got that name right? Yes, of course. And they actually put it together and helped him out. And Walsh went out and he just made some fantastic points, I thought. First of all, he went after Brian Sims and said, man up. You're picking on teenage girls. You want to come after somebody, come after me. This is his argument with Sims.
We are sending a message to bullies like Brian Sims. And that message is very simple, that we will not be intimidated. We will not be silenced. So, Brian, maybe now you understand something, but if you try to shut us up, we're only going to get louder. And if you try to shame us, we're only going to stand taller. And if you try to scare us, we're only going to get bolder. That's the way this works. And I'll tell you the reason for that is because we know that our cause is just. We know that we are right. We are firm in that truth. We have truth on our side, and we will wield it like a sword to defend the unborn.
And you may wonder why Walsh is wearing those dark sunglasses, because he's stoned out of his head. No, I'm just kidding. That's just part of his style. But he's going up and talking to Sims, and he's just saying, you can't bully us. But more importantly, let's think about this for a minute. Let's talk about the principle, because all of these arguments have a principle. And what is the principle of the pro-abortion movement? It is women's freedom and equality, right? It's not fair. It's not fair that men have sex and walk away and women are stuck, oftentimes carrying the burden, which is a new life. And that is an actual thing. And, they are for women's freedom. Guess what? So am I. Despite all the jokes that I make, I am for women's freedom. I believe in individuals. If you ask me, yesterday was Mother's Day. I hope you had a lovely Mother's Day. If you ask me, that's the most important job on earth. Being an at-home mom, building a home for your husband and your family, that to me is where all of life, all of principle, all of joy starts. And if you do that, I hope you will have time to have a second half of your life after the kids leave and do other things as well. That's great. But to me, that is the most important thing you can do. But if you are an individual woman who says, I choose a different way, I want to be the CEO of a company, I want to sit around, I hate all these. Every single TV show has women posing like men, with their hands on their hips, looking like men, looking grim the way men look. Women, if you watch them, women smile a lot more than men do, so they're always looking grim, and that's supposed to get us to respect them like we respect men. That's not the way I feel about life. I respect women as women. I respect women because they're women. Because, if they're womanly, I find that a great gift, a great enhancement to the world and to life. So that's what I think. But if you are, as an individual, disagree with me, I got no power over you. And not only that, I don't care how you live. I'm happy for you to live out your life the way you want to live your life. So I'm for women's freedom. The problem is the principle doesn't work, because you can't get your freedom by killing innocent people. It's that simple. It's that simple. A baby in your womb is another person. It's a different person. It's a human person. You can't kill it. It's as simple as that. And Walsh makes some brilliant points as he goes on, just talking about principle. Here it is.
We are here for the 60 million. 60 million. Keep that number seared into your conscience. 60 million babies have been slaughtered since Roe v. Wade. That's well over 3,000 a day, 1.3 million a year. And this is not just any 60 million. Think about the victims we have chosen, children. The most innocent, the most pure, the most beautiful of all people are the precise ones we have targeted. These are people who have harmed no one. They have done nothing wrong. They are filled with joy and potential and love. And if we cannot see the worth and value in a child, then who can we see it in? Now, they call abortion a reproductive rights issue. It is not. Because by the time the abortion happens, reproduction has already occurred. Nobody is suggesting that a woman should be forced to reproduce. What we're arguing is that nobody has the right to kill a human that has already been produced. Abortion is not a reproductive decision. Abortion is a parenting decision. Am I going to kill my child or care for him?
That's a brilliant argument about reproductive rights. So much of the abortion argument is about reframing what you're doing and using different words to describe what you're doing. Reproductive rights, a woman's right to choose. It's like they just never want to call it what it is, and that's why they'll knock down if you put up a stand with pictures of what an abortion looks like. They'll come and knock it down because they don't want you to see. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to see what the truth of this issue is. And Walsh is making brilliant points. And my problem is that here he is arguing principle. You have a right to come back and argue your principle, a woman's rights, a woman's freedom, all those things. Yeah, again, I support those things. I just don't think you can get them by killing innocent people. That's my whole problem. That's my problem entirely. But the left has depended on pure, raw power. Roe v. Wade, pure, raw power. That's all it is. It is 5, I think it was, maybe 6 justices deciding that no, you don't get a right to argue this in your community. You don't get a right to set the laws in your own state. The Constitution does not enumerate abortion as something that this federal government can control. And the way they got to that was saying that there is a hidden right to privacy in the Constitution. I have to tell you something. I actually agree with that argument. I think there is a hidden right to privacy, just like there's a hidden right to cross state lines. It doesn't say in the Constitution that you can cross state lines, but there is a hidden right to travel freely in the Constitution. There is a hidden right emanating from the penumbras of whatever the hell they say, of the Constitution, a hidden right to privacy. I agree. But privacy does not include, oh, well, yes, I killed my wife, but I killed her in private, and she was in my home at the time, so it's fine. That's obviously not what privacy means. This is pure power versus principle. And the same goes for the argument the left is having with Donald Trump. It's not about principle. It's about power, and it's about personality. It's about Trump's sometimes annoying personality, or certainly obstreperous personality, although as he's doing a good job, I've begun to enjoy his obstreperous personality more and more. But still, I get it. You don't like him. That's fine. I didn't like Barack Obama. I thought he was a narcissistic fop. That's fine. But that's not what we're arguing about. And if we don't keep the argument on principle, because on principle, we are winning. On principle, we are winning. There is no argument against what Walsh said there. There's no argument against what he said. It's not about reproduction. You've already reproduced. That is a brilliant, brilliant piece of good Catholic. This is what I love about those Catholics, man. They always got the reasoning going on. And I just think that's the important thing. So